If you're naturally a lazy person, then this page isn't for you. On this page, we talk about deep level identity change, not just giving you little tips or tricks, lying to you guys that you can change your life in a day or two. We actually give you a roadmap in order to build your life to become the sort of person that you can admire. On this page, we talk about deep level identity change. I have a newsletter called The Next Chapter, which I leave a link in the bio. Click that link, subscribe to the newsletter. I'll be sending you on a week-to-week basis the actual things you need to do in order to start seeing results in your life, whether that's in health, wealth, or relationships. We cover all the pillars with everything that I speak about, and you can begin to become the person you've always known you wanted to be. Click the link below and let's get started. We're going to start this video with a little bit of an exercise. So I want you guys to think of your favorite athlete. Michael Jordan, or is it Muhammad Ali? Lionel Messi, Tiger Woods. Maybe it's Serena Williams, Cristiano Ronaldo. Maybe it's a Mike Tyson. Maybe it's a Michael Phelps. Who knows? But I want you to think of your favorite athlete and what do all these people have in common? See, I'm going to start this video by letting you guys know that players don't listen to the spectators. See, one of my favorite fights of all time was Muhammad Ali versus George Foreman. Let me take you guys back. So imagine this, it's 1974, you're Muhammad Ali. You've got two losses, one being Ken Norton and one being Joe Frazier. There's this new young heavyweight, George Foreman. Not only is he the champion at the time of question, but he's actually dominating every single opponent that he goes through. George Foreman was similar to what Deontay Wilder is today. He was just knocking out people back to back, one by one. Okay? No one could beat him. No one was even getting close to beating him. He was knocking these guys out within the first 1 to 3 rounds. A lot of them even first round knockouts. The people that Ali had lost to, George Foreman had ran through like there was no tomorrow. Now at the time, there wasn't social media or anything like that, but pretty much word was going around that there's no way Muhammad Ali is going to come and beat this person called George Foreman. Because if you look at it from a logical point of view, if George Foreman is running through the opponents that Ali's struggling with, there's no chance in hell that he's going to be able to beat this person called George Foreman. The opinions of other people was probably in the papers. The bets were against Ali. They were all in favor of George Foreman. And as an athlete like Ali, what you've got to think at the time, it's very, very easy for you to fall victim to the opinions of other people. Ali's a player, and these are all spectators trying to add their opinion into what he should do or how he's going to win. And one thing Muhammad Ali always had, which I've always admired the most, is his level of self-belief. When he believed he could do something, there's no one who could tell him otherwise. Even if his own team were against it, even if the people around him were telling him this, family, friends, he didn't listen to any of them. He had a level of self-belief that's beyond what most humans will ever be able to get on this planet. And on the build up to this fight, everyone was thinking, what's he going to do? Is he actually going to go head to head with Foreman? Is he going to, what? He should probably run around for a bit, try to avoid him. And then that way, if he can do that, then when he starts to fight George Foreman, maybe George Foreman is going to be able to lose or something. But nobody really gave him a chance of even winning. And I want you to take this metaphor, because at the end of the day, if you're a player and your game isn't boxing, tennis, ice hockey, football, basketball, your game is life. And maybe you're one of those people who's actually currently going down the road, currently right now, trying to improve your life one way or the other. You're tired of seeing the same results over and over again, and you're actually trying to move your life forward in a positive direction. But you've got all these spectators around you. Some of them don't look like random people. Some of them look like friends and family. They're doubting that vision that you have. You've got this big dream or whatever it is. And the people around you don't seem to think that you're actually going to get to the end of that race and succeed. Similar to Muhammad Ali during the George Foreman build-up, you've got to learn to keep your eyes on the prize. See, I think this is a good metaphor to use, because if you actually think about most games in sports, baseball, basketball, football, tennis, whatever it is, who are the people who always have the most negative things to say? It's always the fans, the bystanders, the people in the stands. Criticism comes from the stands, and that's because the people who aren't actually in the game always have the most to say. Don't take it personal. What you should start doing is seeing this everywhere. So when you're going down a road that you think is hard, is difficult, and you've got nobody around you who you seem to see cheering you on, don't worry. That's between you, yourself, and God. See, for a long time, I didn't want to start a YouTube page because I wasn't creating a YouTube page for things like streaming. I wasn't creating a podcast where, widely these sort of things, if you create a YouTube channel with these sort of themes, people already are familiar with them, they can support it. But when you're on the camera and you're talking about improving yourself, it's a bit of a cliche, isn't it? It's a bit of for a lot of people, for the mainstream audience, most people don't want to change their lives. Most people don't even think that they need to improve their lives. It's not something in their subconscious or conscious. They think the way they're living is perfectly fine. So when you do this, you're almost picking a niche that isn't widely accepted. And there's a small percentage of people who will resonate to your message. It's not like when you're somebody who's sort of, doing like little reels which are funny. Your friends are going to share them and tag you because, it's funny, it's entertaining. But if you got a video talking about, how whenever you're trying to improve your life, everybody's going to doubt you, not many people are going to share that unless you got a big audience. And it's very easy to doubt yourself. And this is what I went through. This is my personal story, right? And you might find you're also on a path where not many people understand what you're trying to achieve. But understand that you're a player in the game and they're just spectators. And players don't listen to spectators. Players focus on the game, focus on what they need to do. What you need to do is you need to be so focused on your journey that you don't even have time to hear what other people are saying about it. That's what I had to learn. Each and every time I'm doing a video, I remove all social media apps or block them. Turn the phone on to do not disturb, no phone calls can get through. Lock yourself in with a notepad and pen, think of a subject and just start speaking. I'll mess this up a few times, sometimes in my speeches you can hear it. See, this is going to be a lot more of a short video to my other videos. It's more of a motivational one. It's funny because I'm sure if you ask my friends what am I sort of doing with this channel, I might say like motivational speaker. I don't really think I'm a motivational speaker. I think I'm more of somebody who's getting complex ideas and sort of breaking them down in a way that you guys can understand. That's how I see it. I wish someone told me some of this stuff when I was younger. But if you start viewing yourself as a professional athlete, metaphorically, in the game of life, in whatever road you're going down, and you start seeing anyone that's got something negative to say or something positive to say as just a fan, a bystander, they're never going to be somebody that steps into the arena, right? If they were in the arena, they would probably appreciate what you're doing. They would understand what confidence it takes, what discipline it takes, what sort of preparation it takes. I used to watch YouTube videos and not actually appreciate the edits that people do in their videos. It wasn't until I started filming like this that you start to think, wow, these guys have really good editors, good quality camera equipment. See, you don't understand this stuff until you step into the arena. You're just a fan. You've got all the negative things to say in the world. Maybe your path is a little bit different. Maybe you're currently in a career and you're trying to get a promotion. And your own bosses and other people around you, they don't believe that you're a good fit for that position. And you know for a fact that you'd be a better fit for that position than the person you're up against. You need to look at yourself as the athlete. You need to prove them wrong. Now, Muhammad Ali in that fight against George Foreman, he ended up winning. He created the rope-a-dope sort of boxing technique now that's spoke about. But all odds were against him. And sometimes in life, the odds are against you. But does that mean that you have to step away and never actually show up in the first place? We don't do that. See, the real winners in life play the game regardless. Win or loss, they take away something from it. The fans, the bystanders, the critics, they just watch from the sides. And if you were to compare the life of a fan to the life of the athlete, who has the better life? Who's financially better? Who has a better social life? Who's more admired? Who's going to be spoken about later on down the line? When you're someone that takes action, you're going to be the person that's spoke about when you leave. When you're a fan, you're the person who's doing the speaking, allowing that person's name to be carried on. Start treating yourself like an athlete. Step into the arena. Do what you need to do to get to the other side. Now, every so often, you do need a bit of motivation in order to move forward. I thought I'd keep it short, guys. It's not deeper like some of my other subjects where sort of there's a lesson behind it, but I want you to take from it that if you're going through something and you feel like you're alone, you don't really feel like nobody's supporting you, you don't even know if you're going to make it at the end of this road that you're walking down. You're similar to a player, you're similar to an athlete who's performing on the stage. All you can focus on is the action that you're taking at this very moment in time. If you give anything your all, that's all you can do. And walk away with the satisfaction to know that most of the people who have something to say would never try even doing what you're doing. We'll leave it there, guys. My name's Tino. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Let's go.